Welcome to Rewrite Your Reality with Reese. I am your host, and today I'm going to discuss time, memory, and I am awareness. See, here's this cool thing about reality that we tend to do, and we don't even know we're doing it firstly, and we don't even realize why we're doing it. Right? So, consciousness exists in every single moment, right? Especially when it feels really brief. We think that's gone and forgotten now, right? But you can remember it like 10 years later, depending on what you are currently focused on, right? Those ideas that just pop up, right? So linear time is actually just a tool, right? It's not limiting you in any kind of way. It's just a tool for you to experience a focused part of reality, a focused part of your own identity, right? Otherwise, how would you experience it? You see, awareness, consciousness, God, reality, source, whatever, right? It's already experiencing itself as everything, right? Now, if you are experiencing yourself as everything, what is it you want to do? Experience yourself in one of those experiences so you can actually experience the experience without getting not necessarily confused, but without this other experiencings coloring what you are now experiencing. It will be like your computer or your TV screen or phone screen simultaneously playing every movie it had or every picture it had or every video it had on YouTube at the exact same time. You can't experience it. You can only know that they are all playing, and you can know every frame of it, you can know every theme of it, but you won't necessarily be able to experience it. That's what you are here to do. So, linear time becomes a tool to experience within the experiencing, right? Not a limitation. Past, present, and future coexist in awareness simultaneously. They have to, just like how the movie coexists in its entirety in the memory of your computer, phone, or whatever, and alongside it every other movie exists completely, right? Now, what do we do with memory? We try to remember something how we think it went. We actually try to force ourselves to remember, hey, reality happened this way. I'm going to remember it this way. I'm going to speak it as if this physically happened, right? How correct do you think you actually are? Not that. You get the beats right in accordance to what you are remembering, but you are filling in those gaps between those beats. And often somebody will correct you in the 3D world, right? Especially people who were there with you. They'll say, no, it happened like this. No, it happened like that. Are you sure it happened like this, right? And then you start to question whether you remember it correctly in the first place, and you start living with their correction, right? It always comes from you, however, right? So memory is not necessarily remembering something physically that happened. It's actually creating in the moment, right? According to what you believe happened in that moment. Memory is not reconstruction, it is recognition of what already simply exists. Yes, what you are remembering exists. How else could you remember it? But we attempt to remember the past in a certain way. We are now forcing it into a sequence, assigning physical validation to it. Well, no, I mean, I fell down and I got the scar on my head. So I'm going to remember something, 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 me falling down, got the scar, something, 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 doctor healed, carrying on with my day, and then blur. That's how we remember something. We make a certain part of the memory stand out, we fill in the gaps of it standing out, and then we live as that identity who experienced the part that stood out with a little bit of fluff in between, and we go from there. No, but I have the scar. Yeah, you're recreating it right now in the moment. Okay, so if I stop thinking about the scar, it'll go away. Not necessarily. You see, what you are aware of and what you are consciously aware of is not necessarily the same thing. Your awareness that you are is aware of everything. It doesn't discontinue a certain aspect of reality. It may remove that from your conscious awareness, but it's not going to necessarily remove that from reality itself. You experience the scar, you have the scar, it stays there because it is part of reality. Reality does not remove itself from reality. Just like how my hair refuses to stay out. Right? Yeah. So, what then do we do? We remember reality in the way that we have preferred it to be. Right? Doesn't mean I prefer to not have the scar. It can be that is your desire to prefer to not have the scar whatsoever. So you typically would just go remember yourself not falling and hitting your head somewhere. How that plays out with the scar is not up to me to tell you how it is going to do that. It could just be simply it no longer comes into your conscious awareness and no one ever brings it up in your reality because it's not something that's part of your experiencing of reality. Or it disappears. Or you get surgery. I have no idea. Frank, because it's up to awareness and it's up to your specific path of least resistance. It's a unique unfolding for you specifically. I'm only telling you that it exists in every one of those ways and ways that I am even not conscious of and aware of at the moment. Right? So, however you want to remember your past, if you accept all possibilities simply exist, it must exist in I am awareness, because I am awareness and I am all realities and it exists within me, right? So you're no longer forcing a certain sequence into existence because you think that it needs to be remembered in this way because everyone else is telling you to remember it in this way. You're remembering it in a way that you desire and letting that unfold from within you. It doesn't mean that it may or will immediately stop anyone bringing that part up. Because that's not even evidence that you are now living from a different set of experiences. That's just the old noise. It doesn't matter. It's not evidence of anything. It's only evidence that this version of reality exists. It's not evidence of the version of reality you are existing as. You see? There was another cool thing where you can have cravings while no longer identifying with smoking. Right? A good idea that popped up yesterday in my awareness. The evidence of you, the craving is no longer evidence of you being a smoker. It doesn't make any. It just is just there. It's just it's another part of reality that you can experience. It has nothing to do with you. It can be your choice again, but it's your choice, right? So, the human tendency to create a narrative around what it thinks is reality is no longer one of your limitations. All versions of reality exist. Which one do you choose to live from eternally? You don't have to go and tell people anything. You don't have to go and reinforce it into the world. It'll reinforce itself because you are the universe, you are the world, you are everything, you are reality. It reinforces itself on its own. Past, present, and future imagined exist equally within your own awareness. Moments do not need physical proof. There aren't any. It's only physical proof of what reality has had already. Your reality is a new thing. It's a new beingness. Why would it be here? You're calling it here right now by living as that version of yourself that it is true for. You can remember reality in any which way you like, as vividly as you like, and live from that vivid version of yourself right now. What is remembered is not separate from all that is. It's part of all that is, right? All possibilities coexist in your own awareness. So, all experiences, physical, imagined, remembered, exist as one seamless reality. You can't even observe the seamlessness in which all of reality exists, right? We are experiencing one small part of it. Consciousness is not divided. There's no striving, there's no earning, there's no separation between observer and experience. The mustard seed just grows, the tree flourishes, the stars shine, the rockets build themselves. Every part of creation, every thought, every movement exists because consciousness is simply experiencing itself. Right? Complexity, challenges, multiplicity, they're all expressions of the same unfolding. All possibilities exist simultaneously. Right? All of reality exists within your awareness, not outside of it. What part of all of reality are you choosing to be aware of now? And the manner in which you choose to be aware of it. This is something that I can't live. This is something that I choose to live right now. Nothing to earn, no separation. The beginning, the middle, and the end coexist as one. Everything that exists, every moment, every experience, every bit of creation exists fully here, fully now, and aware of itself because it is awareness. Consciousness is I am. And what I am is reality. Right? That's who you are. I am Reese. This is Rewrite Your Reality with Reese. Thank you all for being here. Much love. Thank you for the subscribing, following, commenting as well. Thank you for sharing as well. TikTok page, Facebook page available if you want to drop in and say and see other things. My email is in the description box below. You can get a hold of me there. That being said, much love, much light, and I will see you all in the next one.